In this talk, I'm going to present on behalf of Dr. Lingsheng, the researcher from Changguang Institute of Optics, Fine Mechanics, and Physics of the Chinese Academy of Science. And the talk title is From Space to Earth, Remote Sensing Assisted Urban Planning. Due to an unexpected reason, Dr. Lingsheng could not present by himself, so he asked me to present on his behalf. I'm going to talk about two representative constellations of China. The first one is the Jilin-1 constellation of satellites, just made and launched by Changguang satellite. This is a commercial satellite constellation. The second one is a research satellite constellation, made, launched, and maintained by the Tianshuan Alliance, which is called Tianshuan constellation. The Jilin satellite constellation has its first satellite launched on October 7th, 2015. As of today, there have been 41 satellites in orbit of this constellation. Phase 1 of the Jilin-1 constellation consists of 60 satellites. It achieves a 30-minute revisit of anywhere on Earth for the imagery. And the quality of the imagery is sub-meter panchromatic resolution. Phase 2 of the Jilin-1 satellite constellation will consist of 138 satellites and will be able to revisit anywhere on Earth at a 10-minute interval. And this is supposed to be accomplished by end of 2025, which is also China's 14th five-year plan. This is 5 years ahead of the original plan. The reason is the satellite business is growing very fast, and there are heavy competitions. So let's see what remote sensing can do for urban planning. There are several examples. The first one is the port shoreline monitoring. So in this example, the satellite will take multi-temporal high-resolution imagery. Here we show the imagery taken by the satellite Jilin number 1. And from the imagery, we can see the change of the port coastline, the ship construction, and the ship dynamic monitoring, and thus provide decision-making basis for ports and environmental protection departments. In this example, you see two sets of port imageries taken by satellite. First set was taken on January 9th, 2015. The second set is taken on February 27th, 2015. From this image, you can see the ship construction. And from the second image, you can see the flooding that's impacted the dock. And from the third one, you can see change of boats at the port. And the fourth one, you can see the change of shorelines due to flooding. The second example of the use of satellite remote sensing is to monitor rivers. by using high-resolution images of Jilin #1 satellite. The remote sensing information extraction and spatial analysis can be done of the current status of the river channel of the Nojadu hydropower station at the Sima Port section. This is used to realize comprehensive monitoring of the river channel and provide technical support for the monitoring work of relevant departments. In this use, the channel information is extracted from the satellite imagery and obtains the total length of the section channel, which is 22.59 kilometers. A water area of 4.36 square kilometers is extracted from the imagery, and the average length of the channel is 190 meters. The minimum width is less than 50 meters, and the maximum width exceeds 700 meters. These imageries are taken near the Sima port in the northern province of China, of Yunnan. So another example use of satellite imagery for urban planning is to deal with city management. Through using of human-computer interaction and using of Jilin-1 constellation high-resolution satellite images, the monitoring work was carried out in areas such as the Inma River, the Yellow River Basin, and the Yangtze River Basin. So the Chinese administrations have defined 4 kiosk phenomena of the city. And the violation of these 4 kiosks will be discovered in time by using remote sensing. These 4 kiosks include occupation of the riverbanks of trees and other plants, dumping of garbage along the riverbanks, extraction of sand from the riverbanks, and construction without permit at the riverbanks. In another example, we see how remote sensing can help with the bioenvironment. This one shows the satellite images and remote sensing results of Kunshan City in Jiangsu province. Through carrying out remote sensing to monitor water resource ecology in Kunshan City, the waters of the Kunshan City could be masked and establish a remote sensing ecological inversion model, which is indirectly used to monitor the ecological conditions of the river and shorelines in Kunshan City. Multiple factors could be monitored, such as land feature types, topology, and other factors. So here we can see the color of the map is used to show the grade of the ecology, how the biological environment is healthy or not. The red means the ecology condition is bad, and the green means it's good. you can see from April 2018 till the January 2019, there have been improvements of the city, which could be observed by the satellite. In another example, remote sensing could be used to monitor the quality of the water body. These imageries show that the spectrum of Jilin-1 satellite constellation is relatively rich. Through the near-infrared, red edge, and other bands, a water quality remote sensing inversion model can be established on the basis of water resource extraction, the chlorophyll concentration, suspended sediment concentration, and cyanobacteria outbreak in rivers of lakes can be inverted. This one shows also the satellite imagery of the Kunshan city that you can see. The first one shows the chlorophyll concentration of the water bodies of the city. So here you can see the red ones means there are high concentration of chlorophyll of the water body. This one shows the suspended concentration, sediment concentration of the water bodies of the city. The red means there's high concentration of suspended sediment, and the blue ones means there is low concentration of suspended sediment. And this one shows the cyanobacteria outbreak in the rivers, in the lake, Taihu Lake of the Kunshan city. And you can clearly see that there have been outbreaks of the cyanobacteria of the lake. Based on the high resolution and the multispectral characteristics of the Jilin-1 satellite, the water transparency, saturation, and other indicators are analyzed according to the spectral characteristics of the water body, combined with the detection data of ground dissolved oxygen, ammonia, nitrogen, etc. This is to establish an intelligent and automatic analysis model, comprehensive support for the remediation of the black and odorous water bodies. Here we see in the Shanxi province, the satellite imagery is taken and automatically identified multiple spots of the low quality water bodies. This black body, this black spot shows the water body pollution of Yushu city. This black spot shows the Jiutai city, and the others show at the Shuangyang city, Hongzhulin city, Nong'an city, and Dehui city. And by the spectrum analysis, we can see different types of water pollution. Another use of the remote sensing imagery is to monitor the water made by the factory. Based on satellite remote sensing technology, Chinese administrators continue to carry out standardized regulation of sewage outfalls and conduct ledger and inventory management of sewage outfalls entering rivers, lakes, and reservoirs in the key river basins. Here we see that's the monitoring of the sewage part using satellite. You can clearly see the water quality of the sewage taken by satellite. And the satellite imagery conforms with the imagery taken on site. Yet another use of the satellite imagery is to monitor disasters. On the evening of October 10th, 2018, a landslide occurred at the junction of Jiangda County of the Tibet Autonomous Region and Baiyue County of the Sichuan Province, causing the Jingsha River to stop flowing and forming a damped lake. This one shows the 3D constructed imagery of this disaster. On October 3rd, a secondary landslide occurred at the original landslide point, forming a damped lake again. According to the remote sensing investigation, the landslide occurred in the valley area of the mountain with an altitude of about 3,400 meters at the top and 3,223 meters at the bottom of the valley. So here shows a second landslide situation causing a damped lake along the river. So the Chinese satellites are used not only for the urban planning of China, but also for disaster monitoring and prevention of the world. China's GEO, which is the National Comprehensive Earth Observation Data Sharing Platform, issued an urgent need for remote sensing data on landslide disasters caused by floods in Indonesia and East Timor. After receiving the demand, Changguang Satellite Technology Company completed instruction for uploading, data shooting, and other tasks within 3 hours and carried out timely monitoring of the disaster. So here we show that the satellite images taken on April 7th, 2021. And this is in comparison with the imagery taken on November 19th, 2020. But you can clearly see the flood and mudslide of this disaster. And this set of imagery shows the comparison of the images taken on April the 7th, 2021 of this area and the images taken on November 19th, 2020. This shows the disaster monitoring in Laos. On the evening of July 23rd, 2018, the auxiliary dam of the Sampian Sinamay hydropower project in southern Laos suffered a dam failure, causing huge losses. In order to assist Laos in disaster reduction, restoration, and reconstruction, China's GEO issued Earth Observation Data Platform it has released urgent needs for remote sensing data to platform member units. Changguang satellite mobilized a number of Jilin-1 satellites to monitor the disaster area, providing imageries covering an area of more than 5,000 square kilometers. This one shows images taken by the dam failure in the country of Laos. And this one shows the monitoring of the flooding in China. From July 17, 2021, flood disasters have occurred in Zhengzhou city of the Henan province and its surrounding cities and counties. On July 25th, Changguang satellite launched an emergency response to the flood situation in the area. That's the first time, and carried out remote sensing monitoring work on flood submerged areas such as Zhengzhou city, Lingsheng city, Hebei city, and others. Through a comparison of the water area before and after the disaster, the city administrators can grasp the affected area and the area before immediately, and also analyze the degree of disaster. So this image shows the city of Hebei before the disaster and after disaster of the flooding. This one shows the city of Zhengzhou before and after the flooding. And you can clearly see the effect of the flood. On April 5th, 2021, the V-29 drilling of the booming operation company of the Tianjin branch of China National Offshore Oil Company had a shallow gas overflow and a fire accident occurred. The company started the emergency response immediately and mobilized the Jilin-1 constellation for emergency shooting. This one acquired the images starting from 9:51 on April 1 and at 9:47 on April 10th, and conducted oil spill area analysis and environmental impact analysis of the gas overflow. So the other satellite constellation is called the Tianshan constellation, launched and maintained by Tianshan Alliance. Tianshan constellation is an open research platform and is led by Beijing University of Posts and Telecommunications. The first phase has a planned satellites of 6 and is supposed to accomplish by end of 2023. The long-term goal of the Tianshan Alliance is to have 300 satellites in orbit. The first pilot satellite of the Tianshan constellation was launched on October 7th, 2021, which is called the Baoyun satellite. The second pilot satellite was launched in February 2022, which is called the Lingsheng satellite. Both of these are pilot satellites, and the first satellite of the constellation will be launched in the second or third quarter of this year. If you would like to know more information about this open use of satellite constellations, you can visit the website tianshan.org.cn.